Hello and welcome to the channel, this is Rabbits. Today we're going to be doing a review and tips video for the new game Swarmlake, the latest game from Dominique Grieshofer. Grieshofer is the creator of Refunct, one of my favorite platforming games of all time. Swarmlake and Refunct actually share some similarities which we'll get into, so if you're a fan of Refunct for instance, you'll probably also enjoy Swarmlake. At its core, Swarmlake is a game that can be picked up in seconds. Game mechanics are very simple here. You have a pistol-shotgun combo that constantly fires a never-ending barrage of pistol rounds by default. By mouse clicking, you get a shotgun burst that doubles as a rocket jump. The arena is never ending on the XY axis. Tiles pop in under your feet as you move, though it does have an invisible ceiling. All enemies are killed by a single hit and leave behind a green diamond-shaped crystal that you collect for points. The enemies spawn in by the hundreds, slower at first, but soon you'll find yourself overwhelmed with them. There is little recourse here. Any enemy touching you is game over. That is except for the pink bro bombs. In the arena you'll find a small amount of pink spheres that are actually bombs that kill enemies in a small radius around them as you hit them, unleashing a shower of green point crystals to collect. There are 3 enemy types in the game and they all behave slightly differently. Once enough enemies build up, they start to group together as swarms with their own types, making for large waves of enemies that the player must manipulate and avoid. Hitting a pink bomb in the midst of one or more of these large swarms is key to attaining high scores, as you can collect hundreds of points in this manner. The truly impressive enemy behavior really emerges once there are hundreds to thousands of enemies on screen at once, reacting to your movements in a never-ending chase to end your life. At this stage, your gun is more used to carve paths to safety than it is to collect points, as you can't kill faster than enemies spawn. Becoming an aerial acrobat magnetically attracted to the pink bro bombs is key here. Swarmlake is a small game at a small price, at the base of only 99 cents. It's a third the retail price of Grieshofer's other game, Refunct. Both Refunct and Swarmlake are games that explore just one mechanic and do it very well. In Refunct, you were tasked with making platforming jumps with a flow and elegance on a heart-shaped board, and in Swarmlake you are tasked with gathering points while avoiding an ever-growing horde of enemies. In that regard, Swarmlake excels in its niche. It's an addictive game of besting your own high score on the leaderboards. Swarmlake is supposedly very similar to another game, Devil Daggers, which I have not had a chance to play. In addition, like Refunct, Swarmlake features an excellent soundtrack from the composer Christofferson, which is almost worth the price of admission itself. Refunct was a very popular speedrunning game. I don't necessarily see Swarmlake being that. I'm not sure you can become proficient enough at it to consistently score 10,000 points, for instance. That being said, one need look no further than the game Getting Over It by Bennett Foddy, which is both incredibly difficult and very consistent as a speedrunning game nowadays. I could see high score leaderboards becoming somewhat popular for Swarmlake, though. As far as tricks go, here are a few. You need to quickly gather green point crystals after they spawn, so a good strategy is to fall on pink bro bombs from above, clearing yourself a pathway to the ground and the hundreds of points that lie there. Try not to stay in the air for too long. It's very hard to score points there, and it causes enemies to rise upwards, which can make for a more dangerous arena in the future. Circle strafing effectively kettles the swarms into tighter, more uniform groups that are easier to manage. You can pogo bounce off both enemies and pink bro bombs, which can be used for some advanced movement tricks in the air. Your shots reflect both off the arena floor and pink bro bombs as well. Getting a score of 1000 or more on a run is both pretty respectable and can be done somewhat consistently. Death comes fast, but resets are instant. Getting scores above 2000 can be achieved as well with some practice. The game has achievements for scores up to 10,000, though scores that high kind of require some luck, some mastery, and a lot of hair trigger reflexes. At 99 cents or less on sale, this game feels like a steal. Even if you only get 1 hour of enjoyment and some good music vibes, you're out almost nothing. Personally, I've already invested about 5 hours into the game, and I can see many more as I try to best my own high score. Very big thumbs up and an easy recommendation. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing as we try to get this channel monetized. This has been Rabbits. Thanks for watching and have a great day.